What's up, Bug Dog with D&E in the garage? Today we're talking about blue tools. That's right, I've been in the Cobalt game for about 2.5 years now. I did a initial unboxing and a 3-month review where I was really not very happy with the platform at all. A lot of you have been commenting on that video, like a lot of you asking, hey, how's it going? 2 years down the road, what you thinking about Cobalt Cordless being on that battery platform? Well, I'm going to give you the long and the short of it right now. So here's the long and the short of it. I got onto the Cobalt battery platform out of curiosity. All my buddies had either the big old yellow guy or the big old red guy, and I just plumb wanted to know, is the blue guy worth its weight? Or is it just some Chinesium garbage that's gonna end up in the bin in 2 months? Now, if you recall that 3-month video, it was not looking good for the Cobalt brand. Now, some of you may remember I started my journey down the Cobalt road with these two tools. I bought the packaged set. It was the 24 volt max drill, as well as the 24 volt max 1/4 inch impact. Came with these two tools, standard battery charger, and a 2 amp battery. I'm going to cut this tree down real quick. I hit all my tools with a little bit of spray paint. I work in a shared tool environment, lots of mechanics and guys around. Anything I bring to work, I want to be able to identify as mine right away, though I'm going to go out on a limb and tell you, buying the Cobalt pretty much did that for me, because I haven't really met anyone else outside of the guys on Marketplace and Craigslist I've been buying used tools off of that run these tools. And we're going to figure out by the end of this video if there's a reason for that. So I bought these two tools. Immediately had a problem with the drill. If you want to see what my issue was, go check on that video, link up in the corner there. Since then, I have not had that issue again. So I'm willing to chalk it up as a faulty unit. Now, if you look in the comments of that video, seems to be a lot of faulty units rolling around out there. But, and this is so key to me, when this unit went faulty on me, drove myself back to the Lowe's, dropped it on the counter, threw my phone across the room, amateur hour. And they said, fine, I'll give you a new one. They made me return the whole set, so I had to go home and get the bag, the impact, the battery, the charger, but whatever. They gave me a new one and I haven't had a problem. Yet, to me, that level of convenience and service is part of it. How easy is it to use their warranty? Lowe's, stupid easy. Stupid easy. Let's talk about batteries real quick. All right, I don't mind telling you I don't have any of the 6 amp batteries. They're just too big. I don't want a 6 amp battery hanging off my drill. So I've got the 2 that it came with. I got a number of these. I buy these off Marketplace all the time for 10 bucks. They're fine. I find that they do a really good job of keeping peak power for a good long time. They just don't ultimately last a long time, but I think I drywalled an entire room with the impact with one of these. So totally serviceable, not a bad battery, but what I would recommend are either of these. All right, I started seeking out the 4 amp extended runs. They're not too heavy, and I mean, I keep one of these on the 1/2 inch impact in the back of the car, and I charge it like once every 6 months. And then recently I picked myself up one of these specifically for running the saws, the circ saw, because I found they just drain the battery so quickly. I don't have numbers on these specifically. If you want anything more than anecdotal evidence, y'all know where the torque test channel is, y'all know where Project Farm is, but if you want to hear what a real person has experienced, well, you're in the right place. These batteries are selling for about 75 bucks over at the Lowe's. I'm not going to talk too many prices today because they change so often, but just understand that in general, Cobalt's going to be one of your cheaper options. The batteries for the Cobalt brand, in my opinion, 10 out of 10. I have used the heck out of Eric's DeWalt stuff, and I've used the heck out of other friends' Milwaukee stuff, and I don't see these Cobalt batteries lasting any less or providing any less power. Batteries, approved. Now for the elephant in the room. Why on God's green earth do I have 2 sets? Well, the answer is pretty darn simple. Fell in love with them, not gonna lie to you. Loved them to death. Didn't want to have to bring them back and forth to work, so I went on the old Marketplace and I picked myself up another set. I think I paid $30 for this unit and $20 for this unit. Both came with a charger though, which is funny. I have about 30 chargers. And this is gonna help me underline what I think is one of the reasons you should go and get into the Cobalt platform. These tools used are so inexpensive, and they're primarily purchased by homeowners, home gamers, who aren't using this stuff all the time. What does that mean? Okay, let me paint a picture for you. Contractor buys a DeWalt. He uses that DeWalt every inch of her. when it's spent and it's time for him to get a new one, because that's how he makes his living, yeah, he's going to try to sell it for whatever he can get, but that tool's totally spent up. It's donezo. All right, by the time a DeWalt or a Milwaukee makes it to the secondary market, 9 times out of 10, it's broken or it's just spent, or it's out of your price range. You might as well go buy new. Not the case with these Kobalts. Homeowners buy them. They ask the wife and the kids for the 25-piece set for Christmas, and they get it, and they find out quite quickly they don't use the Kobalt 24-volt max battery-powered toothbrush, and so that ends up on the marketplace for 20 bucks. And then I come by and I pick it up, and that allows me to do this. I don't mind telling you that this is about, can't be more than a $500 collection. If I had to go buy this stuff new, well over $1,200. If I was buying it DeWalt or Milwaukee, second mortgage. And for you DeWalt and Milwaukee fanboys who are screaming at me right now that I would suggest that my blue tools are just as good as yours, I recognize that there may be quality differences, but for the work I do, I'm never going to bump up into that wall. All right? If you make a living with a 1/2-inch impact and you don't think the Kobalt could possibly do it for you, first of all, I'd say, I don't know, give it a try before you knock it. Second of all, I'd say maybe this ain't the video for you. But if you're a home gamer like me, well, stick around. We're going to talk a little bit more about some of the other tools I've picked up. Now let's talk about the whole reason I got into a cordless battery platform. I was just fine with my old corded drill. I wanted a battery-powered 1/2-inch. I spent half my life in the junkyard. I don't like this 1/2-inch cordless impact. I've used Eric's DeWalt. I've used my friend's Milwaukee's. I've even used Snap-ons. And when you factor in the price of the Kobalt compared to the price and what you're getting out of the Kobalt, there's really no way to like it. You just have to love it. I bought it used. Well, Eric found it for me for $100. I paid $100. I think it came with this battery, actually. I'm almost 90% sure. Let's see, does it match the paint marks? I think it does. Yeah, this was the battery, because the second I got it, I blasted her down. This impact, and again, I don't have the numbers for you, but if you go on the torque test channel, I guarantee he's tested this, has done everything I've asked it to do. I've snapped, broken free 32 mil axle nuts, no problem. I've unseated, seized XJ leaf spring sleeves, no problem. What else is this broken free? I don't know. I took apart the entire Mazda last summer with it. It's just done everything I could ask, and I was able to get it used, and I was able to get it cheap used. That's 10 out of 10. How much is a, and granted, I know DeWalt makes about 30 different 1/2-inchers these days, but how much, I wonder, would the comparable DeWalt be used? Gotta be 200 bucks, because I got it in decent shape. I beat the heck out of it. Now let's get on to the weird stepchildren of the line. These are the other tools I chose to seek out. First, let's talk about this one. I always knew I was going to find the reciprocating saw, or Sawzall if you want to get proprietary with it. What do I think of this saw? So-so, to be honest with you. It's comparable to every other 24-volt cordless Sawzall I've used. I don't think any of them are all that great. This one reminds me exactly of Eric's DeWalt. It's fine. It's fine. Considering you can be in the yard cutting catalytic converters off without a cord, it's 10 out of 10. Is this a good tool? Yes. It's another one that I bought used. This one was 40 bucks. 40 bucks, bud, and she wasn't used up. Now, it was a little more beat, specifically this, I guess it'd be a, I don't know, standoff plate, whatever you want to call her, was pretty well chowdered. You can see all the chowder. I think that's New England. Next was this guy. I did not expect to like a cordless circ saw as much as I do. This thing is a friggin' honey. Now, is it exactly the same as the Milwaukee? Yeah. Is it exactly the same as the DeWalt? Yeah, pretty much. Is it exactly the same as the Ryobi? Yeah, pretty much. Which one of those is the cheapest? The Ryobi. So which one should you probably buy? Well, whichever one you already have batteries for, but if you're only getting on a tool platform for a cordless circ saw, look into Ryobi. I'm serious. Chances are, if you're getting in only for a cordless circ saw, you're probably a home gamer. Ryobi's another brand that's really good for the home gamer. It's basically the Home Depot version of Cobalt. Love this saw, man. Having something that you can just drag around and just wing, zing, zing. I do all kinds of crazy stuff. I break down pallets with it. I cut kindling with it for firewood. All kinds of crap. Super useful and relatively powerful. She will bog down, but if you have a good blade on it, you can power through most. So buy a cheap saw, put a good blade on it. Let's talk about the weird kid in the room. I have known about these tools for years and years and years. and I always thought they were the most ridiculous, pointless thing on the planet. I did not understand them at all. I recently was doing a home improvement project. We were remodeling our basement, turning it into an apartment, and I had to cut some paneling off the wall, but I have a drop ceiling. I didn't want to take the drop ceiling off. The drop ceiling was put over the paneling, blah, blah, blah. Eric was like, bud, I'm telling you, for the 94th time, go get they call them multi-tools, or why can't I think of oscillating tool? That's what it is, oscillating tool. These things are cool, man. They're super weird. I'm not gonna go into too much depth. These blades are super weird. They're not for every application, but when you need it, there's probably no other tool that's gonna work for you. And so the point there is, I bought this one because I'm on the Cobalt platform. I was like, screw it, let me get it. I've used other ones. Eric has a corded fine one, F-E-I-N, Fien, whatever how you pronounce that, German crap. That is, I mean, light years ahead of this thing. But if you want a small serviceable tool, this thing's fine. It cut all the paneling I needed. It doesn't bog down. It seems to have enough power. And I got it on sale at Lowe's. I think it was, I don't even think it was 80 bucks. They're clearancing some of the less bought tools, and this is one of them. Oh my goodness, I forgot one of the tools I have. Hold up. I completely forgot that I bought the die grinder. It's been hiding in my fiberglass Dexter room where I'm refurbing a jet ski hull. This tool, I was looking at comparable units for $120 to $150. This one was on sale. It was $40. I'm assuming because me and like 2 other guys bought them, because die grinders are not terribly popular to begin with. The Cobalt brand is typically a homeowner brand, and I don't know a lot of homeowners that have need for a die grinder, point blank. I don't think this is a tool that sold well. As a result, they didn't sell a lot. So go to your Lowe's and take a look what's on sale. You know what else is on sale? The drywall screw sinker. It's like a drill specifically for drywall screws. You can buy the strips of them. You can get that one for like 25 bucks new in the box without a battery. It's crazy, and they're good tools. I personally feel that there's just a very good chance that there's a factory somewhere in the Ching Chong Communist Republic, and there's 3 doors, and one door DeWalt's come out of, and another door Milwaukee's come out of, and the third door Cobalt's come out of. We know that to be true with a lot of these brands, and you know, if you hold these drills side by side, or any of these tools, they're just, the similarities are striking. And the point I'm getting at there is, I risked it getting on this platform, and so far I couldn't be happier with that risk. I was able to get used tools on the platform really inexpensively. Those used tools are not spent up because they were sitting in some home gamer's perfectly clean garage instead of banging around getting used 8 to 12 hours a day. Additionally, I was able to pick up tools new that I never even dreamed I'd need or want, but I got them super inexpensive. This was $40. Even if I wasn't doing fiberglass and gel coat repair, I would have picked it up, because why not? You never know, like if I use it twice in my life and I needed the tool that day, it's probably worth the 40 bucks. Here's another thing to think about. I told you I work at a marina. I know full well, where's the one I take to work? This one. I know full well someday I'm gonna hand this to a dockhand and I'm never gonna see it again because it's going in the lake. I don't care because it was 30 bucks. It was Milwaukee drill. Anyway, long story short, I want to know down in the squawk box, have you tried Cobalt? Would you try Cobalt? If you have, what was your experience? I know a lot of you had the same problem I did. Drill and driver went dead, but they gave you a new one and you've been fine since. So I don't know, no harm, no foul. I got a new one, right? And if not, what other cheap brands have you tried or would you try? I'm real interested in the Craftsman tools. I feel like Craftsman is a big enough brand that whoever owns them is always going to try to put a little extra behind them. So I'm really interested to see if Craftsman being at Lowe's brings that Craftsman quality back up. I hope it does, because Craftsman, who wouldn't want to see a storied American brand like that survive and thrive again? What cheap tools do you like? Do you like Cobalt? As always, thanks for watching. Let me comment down in the squawk boxes. Like the video if you like the video. That's just common sense. Subscribe to the channel. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.